This is Vinyl Voices Radio. ESPN 97.5.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I'm John Didman.
Dusty Dehan.
We're back for some more with Daniel Donato, hanging out here at Rockefellers. Justin Dejas, John Didman, Daniel Donato. So now let's talk about another song.
Yeah, so the next one we're going to talk about is Lose Your Mind. All of these songs that we're going to talk about tonight are off of Daniel's new album, Reflector, just came out in November. And so stoked to see the show tonight. But yeah, talk a little bit about Lose Your Mind.
There's a lot going on in that song.
I listened to it and I quickly thought, man, I want to write a movie montage of this.
Oh, yeah, it is.
It kind of has that little vibe to it where it's like, all right, guys, it's time to build this house for those kids. And then the song plays, and before the song's over, we built a house for the kids.
Oh, great.
Something along those lines. We got to get these presents to the orphans, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so it's like that song like fits in there for like a perfect montage. If I ever write a movie,
oh, good.
Stick it in.
Well, I'll be your Harrison Ford.
Perfect.
Or your Gene Wilder. More likely that than not. Yeah.
Both of them great actors.
Great actor.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Frisco Kid's good. You know, that song, have you heard of the Collective Conscious?
Yes.
I think we live in a time now where there's a couple viruses that seem to be in that collective conscious, you know, and that song is maybe just an excuse for somebody to try to lose some of those knots
Okay.
and let go of those things and just be your own person,
Yeah.
which is what this whole country was founded on.
Right.
And you know, and that's not an innate freedom that's everywhere else in the world.
Right.
And especially as you get into the time of when you get into people that are born within the 90s and onward to more present day, we're so used to that freedom that we take it as granted, and it's just not the case. And you have to stand up for that value, and you have to walk with that value and live with it and speak from that place. And you know, find yourself in all that's wrong. Find yourself in there. Don't find what group you have to fit into.
Right.
You know, because that sucks.
Right. Right.
It's not fun.
Well, unfortunately, that's kind of the direction that we've gone over
Yeah.
the last decade. now.
Everybody's trying to put the lamp under the bushel, and that is not the way.
Right.
You know, especially for me, I've never been able to do that. I always perform at a lower frequency when I have to put the light under the bushel.
Right.
You know, I have to keep it up, and that's kind of what that song's about.
Yeah.
You know,
I love that explanation. And the thing about you, and I, mentioned that I'd listened to a lot of the podcasts that you did
Thanks.
during that time, and it's just so fun to listen to you talk because you're obviously like a student. Like the first song we're talking, you're a student of music. You're talking about Marty and Waylon, and
Yeah.
these folks that came ahead of you, but inform what you do in some way. And now we're talking about something totally different. You know, being a student of just, I guess society, you could say, or just what you've seen around you in the country. And I just like to listen to you talk, man.
thanks, man. I love talking to you. Yeah, I mean, being out here on the road is, at least for me, very humbling. For everything I learned, it's safe to say that there's like at least three things that everything I know. There's at least three things that I don't know.
I mean, everything's a learning opportunity too.
The whole technique of experience is educational.
Yeah. Well, this is like our first remote show for this particular
Is
show.
it really? I'm
so
honored.
We're learning on the fly tonight. And we're
Speaking
glad
of learning,
yeah. But we're happy that we're doing it with you because you're just laid back, interesting. Everything I'm just hanging on your words.
Man,
so,
thank you. That's a real honor.
yeah.
yeah. So with the song, because you're very well known for your guitar playing skills, and just watching you just when you were getting the band ready and everything, it was just so fluid. You're just like, now you're just in another world, just sitting there, just making things happen. And so whenever you do sit down to write a song, is it more you already played the music and it's in your head, and then you got to write some lyrics to it, or
Sometimes.
do you wake up some days you're like, this is where it starts?
It's kind of different every time, honestly, John. It's not easier than it's not like playing guitar where I have a pattern familiarity, and every time I write a song, it feels like I'm writing for the first time, which is very hard. Lose Your Mind came really fast, though. I wrote that one day, and it pretty much has stayed. Aside from how we play it live, pretty much 80% of it's been there since it first unveiled itself. Yeah. That was just such a true, righteous headspace that I felt myself in that day, that I was able to pen to paper it, and it just felt like truth in the sand, really. And that's the great thing about songs is they don't have to go away. You know, the moment does, and the feeling that you might have when you're writing it kind of flees into the hallways of eternity. But you have an artifact that you can bring to people, and you know, they bring their experience to it, and it makes that song more real. You know, and it's great.
And it's also just a perspective that they take of your lyrics too,
Oh.
because you might say it this way, and this is like, oh, this is where my head was, and they might hear it somewhere
Yes.
somewhere else, but it affects them differently because
Yeah.
If they're truthful.
yeah.
You know, the truth is, it's just like the sun, you know, everybody's looking at the same thing from a different angle. Oh, it's that far away. No, it's that far away. It's made out of 20% of this. No, it's made out of 50% of this. You know, everybody has an idea about it. But at the end of the day, the lowest common denominator is that all of these students of life are looking at the truth at their angle.
Right.
And that's a beautiful thing.
It is.
And that's all I ever try to reach with my lyrics is truth, beauty, and goodness out of them. I'm certainly not trying to write lyrics that will get me more money because there's an ad placement for Anheuser-Busch
Right.
in there, you know. Which I love songs like that, you know. But for me, there's no emotional reality in it, when I write it. That's all I'm ever trying to do is just be truthful with it, you know.
Right.
Because when you have truth, you have forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should.
You should.
You should.
Even if you don't in physical form, your spirit lives on. You know, when Willie Nelson goes, everyone's gonna still be listening to Crazy
Right.
forever,
Right.
or for a long time.
Right. Right.
You know, so it seems like if you can physically serve truth, you get to live on in spirit
Yeah.
the truth. So
I mean, it's what y'all are talking about is art.
yeah,
That's how we look at a painting, and we got to look at it from different angles. We all see some truth in it, but it's lasting because it's art.
exactly.
The music is art, and
Music is art.
There's different levels of it. Some are comic strips that we enjoy for the moment, but some are lasting. I feel like that's what your stuff is. You know, it's high-minded. You know.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take another quick break because it's getting pretty loud in here. And this is Final Voices Radio. We'll be right back.